from a use case perspective, if we find somewhere in the business, like let's say it's a matter of us deploying AI tools or technology, if we find somewhere in the business that has potential for value, then we move to understanding, okay, what are our options to go address that? Do we build our own tools? Are there tools off the shelf? Do we want to go integrate with tools that we're already using? Governance is clearly a key piece of that. And to Arvind's point, I think it's a much more nuanced evaluation than it was even 5 years ago. It's not really objectionable to say, to Arvind's point, the data that we put in is ours. The kind of gray area, and I think the additional nuance now becomes, all right, to what degree is the provider allowed to train on that data? To what degree is the provider allowed to, measure, our usage of the tool? To what degree is the provider allowed to, capture those prompts, capture those questions, et cetera? And so I think it's an evolving, it's an evolving area. It's definitely one that we look at. On the other hand, on the flip side, one of the reasons why Glean is so heavily used within our organization is it doesn't require us to set new security policies, right? It integrates with all of these systems and systems of record, or a lot of the systems of record we use, be it Google Collab Suite, be it Slack, be it Atlassian, et cetera, et cetera. And so in that respect, right, the ability to go into an organization that is fairly large, that has, security and governance requirements, and be able to ride on the back of existing procedures and protocols and validations is extremely helpful. I'll make one last point. I think, again, for a lot of the startup founders out there, don't think of governance and security as a static thing. It evolves, and you want to be part of that evolution. Case in point, when Pure started in shipping product in 2012, one of the distinguishing things about our products, our core business is selling storage arrays. They largely sit on-premise in customers' data centers. One of the differentiating things was all of our arrays phone home. It's a giant IoT network, not different than your Nest thermostats or really anything in the consumer life, right? And I'd say the first 5 years of us taking our product to market, we were constantly having conversations with IT teams, getting them comfortable with this idea that, hey, we could have telemetry phoning home from an enterprise data center that was secure, that was auditable, that wasn't, leaking private data, et cetera, et cetera. What we've done is over time, by showing them value, right, from bringing that data out, that metadata out, by turning that into a better customer experience, by turning that into a better product experience, and by building trust with a customer, I don't have those conversations anymore. So, I think yes, governance and security is a real thing. If you want to go deeper in the enterprise, it is something you're going to have to figure out how to navigate, but it's not static, right? And, the more you can establish trust and add value around your other uses of data or telemetry, the more likely you are to be successful.